eternity, a light flowing down from the heavenlies, and we are here reaching out. The Word of God is all we need. Who the Son sets free is free indeed. So God, please speak to me, reaching the next generation.
Well, greetings and welcome to Reaching the Next Generation. I'm Bishop Jerome Jones, and I am so thankful that we're able to be here with you today with another broadcast, and we're going to be talking with you in just a few moments about what God is doing as He enables us to continue the work in the nation of Africa. That's right. I know that it will be a blessing to you, and I'm hoping to have Evangelist Mark with us on today's broadcast, and I'm trusting that as he comes on board with us, that you too will be inspired and enjoy today's broadcast. Well, again, this is Reaching the Next Generation, and I am coming to you from Spring, Texas. That's right, Spring, Texas, USA. And we want to share with you, and hopefully, as I said, that we will be having Evangelist Mark with us. Now, I just got off the phone with Lisa, and it is pouring down rain in Monrovia, Liberia, and when it rains there, the internet connectivity is really poor. It's not good even when it's not raining in many instances, but when it rains, it really affects the satellite signals and the internet connectivity signals. So we may have some technical issues getting them online with us today. So if that be the case, then we might resort to our phone to have them online. But I want to talk to you about where we are inside of the ministry. We are establishing the online Bible ministry to Liberia. This is another phase of what the mission and ministry to the continent of Africa is all about. We are establishing a internet through the internet, a Bible class that will teach the gospel to the members in Monrovia. And so this is the next step in supplanting a church there in Liberia, in Monrovia. And so we're going to have a weekly Bible study, and we're going to have a weekly discipleship meeting, ministerial training. That will be about 90 minutes of discipleship training for the ministers that would be responsible for carrying out the ministry there in Monrovia. So this is exciting, and we have the internet modem connectivity unit. We purchased that unit solely for the purpose of being able to broadcast. So the only ongoing thing that we need is to supply the modem, supply the unit with the data. And we've already purchased data so that we can have our initial class and we can have our initial discipleship training. So we're going to, we're just so thankful that we've been able to get this far. We got a mobile unit and we have a location that we're going to use for the gathering of the saints for these Bible classes and discipleship training meetings. So they're going to be meeting at the home where evangelist Mark DeCoker and family lives. This is a home. We took this family out of the homeless state. We took them out of the homeless state. Now let me say something to you. What we need, I know that we've already done this, but I do want to inject this. We need $100 to send to them for this to complete this home structure, because all of the funds were sent, but I authorized them to take $100 of those funds a little over a week ago to purchase food, because they did not have food and they had been without food for 3 or 4 days. And so I authorized them to take $100 of the money that was sent to them to pay for the house. I authorized them to use $100 of those dollars to buy some rice and food and gas for their motorcycle. And so they did just that. One of the things that I love about the people that we are working with is that they are faithful to do what we instruct them to do. Because here they was holding $1,200, but there was no food in the house the whole day, no food in the house the next day, no food the next day, no food the next day, and I didn't learn about that until the 4th day. And when I told them to go get some food from that money, they said, well, Bishop, we don't want to use that money for anything but what it was scheduled to be used for, and so that's why we didn't go spending it for nothing else. We was waiting on your instructions. And so I did do that, and now the gentleman has given them the house. They're in the house, but they are $100 short. And so as soon as I get that $100, I'm going to send it to them. So if you want to help us, please do. But we're established. That's going to be the home in which we have Bible studies in. We're going to have ministerial discipleship training going on right there in the homes, and there's people in that community that's going to get an invitation to come to these classes. And one of the things that we're going to be doing there is that we're going to be in some of the classes, we're going to be sending them the video messages that is taught by the leadership here at Bible Teachers International. So they may get a lesson that Apostle Banks has been ministering on. They'll get a lesson that Apostle Mike, Apostle Kareem, myself, and others that are ministering the word, and so and also there'll be times when others will be sitting here just like I'm sitting here, and they'll be teaching the class for that particular week. We have the ability to bring 10 or 12 of the people on the screen with us while we're here doing the broadcast, and we're going to be able to do that. And it's going to be live online so that you will be able to participate as well, and you'll be able to make your comments in the comment section, and you'll be able to also to listen, see listen to the those that are sharing, as well as see those that are in attendance and those that are sharing the platform with us here. So we're excited about that, and hopefully by in the next 2 days we're going to be announcing the date of the broadcast, the date that we're actually going to be doing that weekly broadcast. Now that broadcast will go every week the same time. So we're not going to be switching it for different times and whatnot. It'll be the same time every week. That way you can mark it on your calendar, and you'll know that every week at this time we're going to have the broadcast. Now, let me just show you the way that how different it is in times, because right now I'm in the Central Standard Time Zone, and it is 12:48 here my time. So we're 5 hours difference in time from Liberia. So right now in Monrovia, it is 5:48. So it's almost 1 o'clock here, but it's 6 o'clock in the evening there. So when we do broadcast, we're seeking to do the broadcast earlier in the day because it's getting dark there now. And when it gets dark there, they can't travel at night because they have to travel mostly by foot. And usually at nighttime, they need to be in their homes for the most part. And so we attempt to do the broadcast before it gets dark. So when it gets to be 10 o'clock our time in the morning, it is 3 o'clock their time in the afternoon. So our broadcast will be around about 4 o'clock, which would be 11 o'clock our time, or 5 o'clock, which would be if it's 12 o'clock our time, it'd be 5 o'clock their time. So we're going to look to start the broadcast in that proximity of time, no later than 12 o'clock our time. And we might can stretch it to 1 o'clock, but we're going to try to keep it at 12, so that it'd be 5 o'clock, from 5 to 6. That'll be the broadcast, and we'll be through at 6 o'clock, and they can get back to their own dwelling places. So we're excited about that, and I want to say thank you for supporting us, because we were able to get the data, and we was able to also send financial support to Lisa Moses, and we are also able to send support to Pastor Jeremiah. Guys, you're gonna love speaking with and seeing Pastor Jeremiah. Now on another one, Pastor Jeremiah is in Uganda, and on Sunday morning I'm going to be speaking to the pastors there and all the orphan children that are being cared for. We're supporting them. We're buying their food. And the pastor informed me today that these children have been asking him to meet us. You know, they've been asking him to meet us, and he called me up today. I spoke with him just about an hour, a couple hours ago, and he says that they are asking to meet you. They want to meet you because they tell them that, you know, this is the person that is purchasing the food that you're eating. And saints of God, those kind of things seems to be really small to many of us, because we have such a plentiful supply of food, or we can get it at such ease. But there, getting a plate of food is a monumental task for so many. And so when you help us in any form to supply food and clean drinking water, you are saving lives, you are changing lives, you are strengthening people so that we can minister the gospel. So that's a work that is going on with children and saints of God, and this pastor and his wife, they are I got a chance to meet him and his mother today. They are just committed, faithful people that love God, and they just want to serve, and they are serving. And God has connected us to be a strength to them. He's connected us to be a spiritual strength to them, and a physical help to them in supplying food and support for them and the orphans that they are caring for. So we're really excited about that. And then we have another pastor is Arena. And Pastor Arena, you're going to get a chance to see him. We're going to bring him on. And he's in Kasai, Kenya. He's in Kasai. And he has a very special testimony. And I'm so excited because he has a ministry there. They love the Lord. And they're just, when they ask me for support, this minister said, Bishop Jones, doesn't matter if it's $5. He said it will be a tremendous help to us, and we will all appreciate it. And and I just thought about that. I said, Lord, that's being at a level of humility that sometimes we don't often see. But they are so genuine and loving God and serving with nothing but serving faithfully. And so we're standing with them, and we're going to get a chance to meet them. That's the work that we got going on in Kasai. And then we have Gambia. That's another country. And in Gambia, there is a couple of families there that God has connected us with, and orphan homes there as well. And all over the country, the continent of Africa, in so many places, because Africa is a continent that has 54 nations. And throughout that continent, there are all kinds of disastrous situations with children, human trafficking, starvation, poverty, sicknesses, to such magnitudes that is unlike what we've ever seen. And God has opened up highways of ministry for us to go. And so we're ministering there, and we're seeing how God is planting seeds, or God have planted seeds of evangelism in these nations. Now, we're talking about giving you an update on the mission and the ministry to the continent of Africa, because all of these nations that we are in, all of these nations that we're in, we have been able to establish contact in these nations. We've been able to establish people on the ground, and having done so, it gives us now a place where we can send support, and where we can grow a fellowship of believers. And that's just awesome, because God knows how to build his church. God knows how to build his church. And I want you to really take joy. I really want you to take joy in anything you do for this ministry. And I want you to take joy in it, because there are souls that are being saved. We are also, in our last update on yesterday's broadcast, we told you about how God connected us to the senators. God connected us to the deputy directors. God has given us free access and entrance into avenues of ministries that will reach hundreds of thousands around the world. And on yesterday, something else exciting happened. In Monrovia, Liberia, we're based in Monrovia, but we also have a presence, a ministry in Nimba. Nimba, Liberia, is like 4 different states over from Liberia, from Monrovia. So it's like 4 different states over. A lot of people there. And guess what else is there? The university, the college that is among the finest that you will find there, and has nearly 1,000 students in the college, and we have a responsibility in helping shape and see the future of this college remaining in the scope of vision that the Lord gave Pastor Johnson. And so Pastor Johnson and I have been in meetings. We met with all of the college staff, president and a director of admissions and the different faculty members of the college university. We have set things in place, and on this campus, in a few weeks, on this campus in Nimba, Liberia, we will be testing for the first time a radio station that will air the gospel to every state in the country of Liberia and over into other countries around about Liberia. That's really exciting. It's got a 150 feet tower, and it is going to be tested. Got all the things there. Got offices and studios, and we're just excited because we're going to have one of the first broadcasts to the nation there. Oh, bless the Lord. And I am so excited about that because, guys, I started broadcasting to Africa through shortwave radio and through the Pan American Broadcasting Network way back in the late 70s. Now that just gives you an idea about how old I am. But that also tell you that I was ministering on the broadcast when I was a young man, because I'm 66 now. And I started broadcasting, and little did I know that we would have a full gospel radio station, the voice of God, to go out to every state in the country and to other countries round about. I mean, God didn't change his plan. He is bringing us into the fullness and fulfillment of his plan. So we are so thankful about that. And so I can't wait to get Bible teachers broadcast, to have Apostle Mary Banks and have Apostle Kareem Flowers, Apostle Michael Thomas, bishops and pastors of the Reformation Bible Teachers International being aired around the world. We're talking about reaching into the hearts and minds of people around the world. You're talking about evangelism. God has connected us with the seeds of evangelism in countries around the world. And all we got to do is water the seed. He'll cause it to grow. Yes, he will. All we got to do is just do our part. And so I'm so thankful for that. That's where we are in the ministry in mission to Africa and in particular Liberia. Now, also, in addition to the radio station, we also have being constructed right now. I said to you that we have a ministry, and the ministry that we have to the nations is 5 tiers. There's 5 different tiers of ministry. Okay, it's not just going there saying, "Do you love Jesus?" There's 5 different tiers of ministry that we impact people with. We also, the first one is food and clean drinking water. We have to do that, and I'm asking you to help us right there, because these people are starving and they need food, they need clean drinking water, and we can help them there. So the first thing that we want to do is to get them some food and some clean drinking water. And you can support by making a contribution for that. We are also working on the next level is to help them in their health, because Many times they get malaria. Many times they get typhoid fever and many other diseases because they're drinking water that is unfit to drink. Animals take a bath in the water, people take baths in the water, and they still use that same water to drink. So it's just unfit for drinking, and it causes them to get sick so often. This is why the boys and girls can't finish school, because they get too sick. They're out sickly. Or if they're not out sick, they're out working on slave farms just to get a plate of food. So if we provide them with food and clean drinking water, we'll eliminate much of their sickness, and will eliminate them having to go into slave labor, not to get paid money, but just to get paid food. Okay, just to get paid food, to have to eat at the end of the day. We can do something to impact that now. We can do something to impact that right now. And it only takes a few dollars contribution to change a life. Amen. So that's what we did. I was looking to bring Evangelist Mark, but he just sent me a notice that he is in traffic trying to get home. And so I'm going to send him a note to let him know that I'm on live, and for him to join me when he gets home. That way he'll come in and be able to share when he gets into his home. But we're so excited about being able to do this, because we're seeing that it is literally changing lives. Literally. And the minister that I'm going to bring you on right now, he would have been dead and gone had we not been there doing what we're doing. He literally would have been dead and gone, because he was dying right in front of me, right while I was sitting right there with him. So I understand this, and I'm saying to you, saints of God, that's got to touch your heart. That's got to mean something to you. That's got to cause you to feel something. That's got to cause you to dismiss the naysayers and dismiss the people that feel like, okay, I can't do this because of that. No. We're talking about saving lives. And it doesn't matter what doctrine you have when you're dying. So I want you to know that this is so exciting that we're able to see what God is doing. And we're going to be able to now reach out and share the gospel with every home in that country. And I'm so excited about that. Then we have a medical center being built right now. Right now. See, I told you we're treating their food and clean water and their medical, because we're going to have a medical center where they'll be able to go get medical treatment. See, we're going to be able to offer medical treatment at even to the people in the communities all around at a very affordable price. I've watched people sit there, and mothers and fathers, husbands and wives, laying around like zombies waiting to die because they can't go get any medical treatment. I've witnessed that with my own eyes. I've been right there with them to see it. And I've been one that said, no, we're going to take you to the doctor. Well, we don't have any money. Well, we're going to pay for it, because we're not going to just sit here and let you die. And the money that we was paying, we didn't have it to pay. It was money that we had to try to live from day to day while we were there, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter. We weren't going to let that person sit there and die because we don't want to, release the money that we say is given for us to live with getting food and such. Nothing like that matters. We have to really examine ourselves when we have to make a decision between having something to eat or having life just to live. So we're so thankful that we're having this medical center there, and that's another area. And then another area of our ministry, that's we got the food, we got the medical, and then it's education. Education is key. 85% of the people in Liberia does not have education. And so we know that that is a disease that has to be addressed. And so what are we doing? We are enrolling boys and girls into a college so that they can get an education, and in doing so, they are able to help themselves and their families, and they have been committed to paying it forward through our program. They're going to pay it forward for another family. So what does that say? We're going to help this family, but this family is going to be restored, and then they're going to help another family. You know, this is what Jesus told Peter. When you are strengthened, what are you supposed to do? Strengthen your brother. That's the ministry, and that's what we are getting done. That's what we're getting done, and I am so grateful for it. The young lady that we're helping there, Lisa, is a product of one person that we've already helped is now contributing to helping her. See, that's what we're talking about, saints, and we can make a difference all over that country and the countries all throughout the continent. This model is a model that God gave me, and it works. It works. See, I'm not that smart. God gave me this model. God told me what to do, told me how to do it. And I just can't go any other direction. I have to stay with what God did. So he told us that, look, food and clean water, medical help, education. See, food and water, that's one thing. Education, medical is two things. Education is three things. Housing. Many of them don't have a place to live. They're living on cardboards. You know, they're living in horrific conditions. I went into some of the dwelling places where they were living. And in those dwelling places, it was just like back in the 1800s, as if life stopped in the 1800s, you know. But what do? In our mission and ministry to Africa, we seek to put them in a home, or we seek to repair homes that they have by putting tarps. And so now this is something that I really want to say. If you can donate a tarp will be a gold mine to some of the people there in Africa. Because some of the homes that they're living in, if we put a nice tarp over the home, that'll keep the rain out, you know, and that way they got the walls up, but the roof is not there. They, you know, and we could put a tarp over it, and it won't rain in there, and that would be a tremendous help to preserving a better quality of life for them and keeping them in a home that otherwise is just a river. Because 6 months out of the year, the rain is really strong there in Monrovia, and it be many times torrential rains. So when it's raining in the roof, I walked into Evangelist Mark's house and I could see straight through to the clouds. The bathroom was like in a bucket. You just had a bucket there. You know, I walked through other communities. It's still outdoor bath facilities, you know, not, you know, like way back when we were, before I was born. And we sought to change that. You know, God gave us a vision say improve their life. And so that's what we're doing. And when we ask you to help us, those are the things that we're doing. The mission and ministry to the continent of Africa is vast. And so that's another area. So now we've told you about the Food and Clean Water Act. We told you about the medical center that's being built to help them with medical. And we're not just waiting on the medical center to be built. There's one of the facets of the medical is that we have doctors and nurses that we are sustaining them with a small financial contribution, and we'll have them show up in that community. And in that community, people in the community will be able to get a doctor and a nurse for treatment without having to pay any monies, because we're going to be the one, we'll be giving them that retainer's fee. And it's nothing big, but it serves to give them something, and they're giving us something in providing their medical expertise. So that's another way we're assisting them medically, or we're helping them to assist them to go into a hospital where they can go into that hospital and for $85 get treated for malaria, get treated for typhoid fever, and get on a system that they can for just a few dollars, $20, $25 a month, they can get medical coverage for whatever they need any day of the week. So we have a real comprehensive plan. And we know that it works. We know that it works. We know that we're not just, beating at the air. This literally works. So that's the medical. And then I told you about the education. Well, the college, we can enroll students in the college for $8 a credit. And that's amazing. For $8 a credit, they can get a college degree for over 4 years. That's $1,900. A 4-year degree from a university, and a good one at that. And that $1,900 for 4 years is less than $500 a year. That's less than $500 a year. So that's about, when you break it down, it's less than $50 a month. About $40 a month. $40 a month, you can go to college. Now, guess what you get when we get them in a college like that? They get all of their tuition is paid out of that $40. All of their room and board, because they can stay right there on the campus. They get to eat all the food. All of that is included. All of their uniforms is included. And all of their graduating fees are included for $40 a month. I know that many of you that are hearing this, and if you're in other places, you're saying, God, I wish I could go to college for $40 a month. And it's not that their prices are so cheap, because their prices are not cheap over there. But the founder of this college, the owner of this entire project, have made a declaration that this college university will not be a profit-making institution. He has made a declaration that it will be for the saints of God and for the poor and needy around the world. See, and he's been sure to communicate with me, Bishop Jones, I don't ever want this university to be a profit-making university. I don't want it to be ran by people that are just seeking to make it a money-making institution, irrespect to whether or not it ministers to the poor and needy. So, and I've been charged to make sure that that happens. And so that doesn't mean that we don't want to make any money. No, we can't. We got to bring in more money than we're spending out. But the money that we bring in, we've got to put it back in to the college, back into the students. You know, the students and the people of Liberia has got to be the beneficiaries of all proceeds that come in. And I'm so blessed because Dr. Zizi is the president of the university, and I've had several meetings with him because we have to communicate because of our roles, the roles that we have. And when I sat down to meet with Dr. Zizi for the first time, he just blessed me. He just blessed me. Now, why did he bless me? Because I just began to listen to his testimony. And in listening to his testimony, I saw that he has the heart of God. He is a man is well endowed with education. He is a PhD grad, and yet he volunteers to work for Pastor Johnson and the college university free. And he could take a job paying him $100,000-$200,000 a year easily. But he's doing this free. And he's also a pastor, overseer. Oh, bless the Lord. See how God connect you with people? God is doing this, saints of God. God is doing this. And he is traveling through, and he as the president of the university, he has a good vision for what the founder and owner wants, and he has a good vision of what the vision and the participation of Bishop Jones is. And so he spoke to me, he said, Bishop Jones, he says, we want to have a foundation with Bishop Jones Foundation, and we want to have every student that comes through this school that your ministry is helping, they're going to be a student in your foundation, and you're going to be able to follow them. You're going to be able to know their progress, and they got to maintain a certain grade average, and we're going to know their families, and you're going to be able to interact with them. See, we're talking about real lives. That's the ministry and mission. That's the mission and ministry to the continent of Africa, in particular Liberia. Now, that's the education part. But in addition to that phase of the education that we are supporting, because everyone can't go into the college, but what we have devised the plan for the majority is this. When we meet a family and they are destitute of food and drinking water and etc., when we meet that family, we assess the family's needs, and then we look at the educational skills that they have. And if that family doesn't have any educational skills among them, we then find a skill set that they would enjoy doing, and we send them to vocational trade school. We get them in a trade school. That means we pay for their trade school education. Get them signed up, get them registered, buy the equipment, and get them in school, while we are providing food and clean water to them and their families. That's what we do. And the reason we do that is because we've let them know that we're not going to be giving you food and clean drinking water all the time. We're going to give you 1 year, and in that year, we're going to give you some skill sets for the first 6 months, and in the second 6 months, we're going to establish you in a business or a job that will pay you enough money to take care of yourself, your family, and help you help take care of another family. So that's what we're doing, and I'm so thankful that in a matter of a week from now, some of the students will be graduating, from the vocational school. See, and this now enables them to get a job or to establish a business, and before the last 6 months of their support run out, they'll be able to have a source of income that will sustain them and their families, pay it forward to help another family, and continue to build a quality life. So we're excited about this program. This is just what God has showed us. I wasn't such a genius to write it all out myself. It was just what God showed us. And so now that's that education department. And so then there's another area, housing. I told you about the housing because we're working on that. And then we have the spiritual growth and development. That's where we plant the church. That's where we plant a ministry where we begin to disciple men and women into the heart and mind of God. Now that's where we are in Liberia right now. That's where we are in Uganda right now. That's where we are in Kasai, Kenya right now. We're at the stage now of planning a local body of believers that will be tutored under their ministry on a weekly basis, with a lesson being taught and then a discipleship training each week as we go forward. And we also are at the stage of being able to bring you online into those classes, see, and to stream them live. So that's where we are with that right now. And so we've gotten the internet connectivity unit. We've gotten it all set. Evangelist Mark has it in his home, and we're going to be getting other units to put in their homes and at the churches of the other locations. And so those units cost about between $250 and $300 a unit. I bought the unit for Monrovia, and now we're going to go on to try to purchase units for the other 6 to 8 locations. And the reason for the unit is so that we can have a stronger signal and have enough data to maintain a 1-hour broadcast and then a 90-minute broadcast, and to be able to do them every week without losing the connectivity or without not having enough strength or high speed connectivity to do the broadcast. So that's the purpose for getting a unit instead of just relying on the Wi-Fi. I was there in Africa for about 3 months, and the Wi-Fi is just not good. If you don't have a unit, you're just gonna, you may be on air for 2 minutes and then drop, and then you have to come back and be on it for another 2 or 3 minutes, and you'll drop again. Sometimes you can stay 10 and 15 minutes and still drop. So to fix that problem, I purchased a internet connectivity unit, and the only thing to maintain that unit now is to keep buying the data. And we bought the first package of data, and so we are ready to go with the Monrovia location. I spoke with Pastor Jerome today, and I'm going to be speaking into their church on Sunday morning with all the children that we're supporting there in Uganda. And I am so excited about doing this because these children were malnutrition. They were, you see a child and they just can't eat food. They just can't get nothing to eat. Their bellies are blowed up, because they have nothing but air. And, you know, to see them all sitting down with a plate of food in front of them, it's just seemed like the joy of my life, you know, because they value that more than we value gold. In fact, when I gave the first bag of rice and another ingredient that they call sup and some oil, when I gave that first bag of rice to Evangelist Mark and his family, he said, "Bishop, this is better than gold to us." You know, because they had been going hungry so long. You know, just not knowing where to, having to run around for miles trying to find food, get scraps, going to factories begging for bread. So I want to thank God that God has brought us to this place where we are today, and we can help men and women, boys and girls from around the world have a better quality of life and get to know Jesus Christ. Now, the evangelism has many components. And so what we're doing here as we walk you through this operation and process, we brought you to each one of these stages, because in order to be effective in evangelism, when you're out there in the evangelistic field, you've got to be able to address the problems that people are having. It's no sense in me coming to you, preaching to you about a problem that you don't have. You know, it just makes no sense. So if you don't address the problem that the people have, you're not going to get a listening ear. So we're so thankful that God now showed us in advance. He didn't wait till we got there to see nothing. He showed us in advance how to do it. And when we got there, we saw why God showed us what he showed us. Because the very way that God showed us was the only way it could have been effective. So we're so grateful that we're able to do so. So we're asking you now, let's do your part. Do your part to help us. Do your part to help the sons and daughters in Liberia. I've asked the church to do something for us. I've asked the body of Christ. When I say the church, I'm talking about the body of Christ. No one particular church. I've asked the body of Christ to fast one day and take that money that you would fast for one day and give it to us so that we can feed our family, provide assistance in any of these 5 areas that we need to help people in. Now, let me show you the reality of that. I said that to the body of Christ because God told me that when I was right here before I ever went to Africa. That's why I said that to the body of Christ. God told me, says, tell everyone that I have blessed to eat every day that they can give one day's meal to feed a hungry and starving family. And it wouldn't cost them $1 more than they're already spending. That's just God's wisdom. They said, now you could spend the same money, but in addition to you spending the same money, you're saving extra life. You're not spending anything more. You're just making the sacrifice and eating one day less. Would you be one that would do that? Our Cash App is on the blue banner right there. Why don't you go there and give a contribution? Why don't you say, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that right now. That's our Cash App is $YOUGIV. And if you're a member of Bible Teachers International, you can just give it through Bible Teachers International, and you can say in the memo section, this is for Bishop Jerome Jones, mission and ministry to Africa. And then send me a note through Messenger, and we'll make sure, and Dr. Banks and Amy, they will make sure that it gets to us. If you send us the note, that you send it through Bible Teachers International. We're just there are many easy ways that you can do it. If you want to send it directly to me, you can do that as well. Another thing, that if you're in the United States and Canada and some of the other countries, on that blue banner that you see there, I have a website called acceleratefueltabs.com/JJSGAS. That is a site that I am promoting because I'm a member of the site, for one, and it helps us raise funds to help these missions. How does it do that? If you go there and you order one of these packs, you can go right to that website, stroll down, and just order one pack if you want, or you can order more than one. But this will be a $24 pack. We get a commission every time you do that. And we are taking these funds and using the majority of all of them to help the mission to the continent of Africa. This is a website that is mine, that JJSGAS is our tag. And so every time you order one of these, or if you sign up and get the website and use it as your own business, every time you do that, you're helping us. I will get a commission, and that will give us money that we'll be able to help. But why these tabs are important? Because this pack has 6 tabs in it. You put one of these in your tank of gas, and fill it up with gas. Do that for all 6 times, and you're going to get increased mileage, which means you're going to buy less gas. Your oil is going to be extended thousands of miles cleaner. Your filters are going to be kept cleaner. Your catalytic converter going to be kept cleaner. Your optimization of your engine going to be much better, horsepower better, and a much cleaner engine, meaning less repairs. Less gas you have to buy means you're going to save money. The car that I drive, one of these packs saves me a full tank to 2 full tanks of gas. It costs about $80 to fill up that tank of gas. So if I save 1 tank of gas, I spent $24 for this, I'm still saving money if I never do the business. So I'm asking you to check this out, because whether you get it or not, you're still going to pay that money at the gas pump. So why not pay less money at the gas pump, and then take a portion of the money that you save and help us feed the hungry and minister the gospel to men and women around the world? Go there and check that out. Okay, that's all we're going to do here today. Now, I understand that it is the weather is bad in Monrovia. It is raining. Lisa sent me word back that it is raining really bad, and that is giving them all kind of problems with the internet connections. So when it rains, things will change as far as internet broadcasting. So what we're going to do is we're going to get ready to sign off here now, and we'll be back another time. But don't forget, send your support to help these families that are in dire need, and help us continue to do the work of the mission and ministry to the continents of Africa. I'm Bishop Jerome Jones, and if you go with God, he will surely go with you. Have yourself now, by all means, a Jesus-filled day.